I think we've got Senator Britt is on the way, so let me just ask another question or two while we wait for her to arrive. Mr. Schiller, if I could just come back to you. My understanding is that the Child Rescue Coalition plays a major role in developing new technology that can be used against online CSAM. Can you speak to that?
I certainly can, Senator. Thank you. Yeah, for the better part of 10 years now, the Child Rescue Coalition generates software for law enforcement for free so that it can expedite their work in combating child exploitation between peer-to-peer networks, live streaming technology, and everything else that's out there where our children are at risk. The technology gives law enforcement the opportunity to proactively go after these individuals, incredibly streamlining their process and minimizing the work they have to do. The beautiful thing about the technology is it works hand in hand with every other law enforcement technology to combat child exploitation. So when law enforcement receives a cyber tip from NCMEC, they will also run that information against information from the Child Rescue Coalition to see if offenders are in different places and make a robust and really wholesome investigation against the offender.
Very good. Thank you for your terrific work, and thank you for your senator's work. Ms. Sines, can I just come back to you? I want to pick up something that you said in your opening statement about when your exploiter created all of those profiles in order to post all of that material. And you said that Facebook said to you initially that they would not take down so many of these different profiles. How long did it take before you were finally able to get this content, and these profiles, which were generated, as I understand it, with the sole purpose of embarrassing you, shaming you? How long did it take to get Facebook to finally take those down?
Thank you, Senator. At first, it took a little over a day until we were able to hone in on a personnel that we could directly contact at Facebook. And then any other time there were postings, we would contact that one specific personnel and they would be taken down within a few hours. But at first, it was a day, maybe longer.
Well, I think one of the important things that this bill does additionally is it creates a reporting mechanism for victims, an independent board, because what we've seen all too often with the companies, and this was your experience, is that people will go to them, report it, and oftentimes the companies, they drag their feet or they do nothing. They do nothing at all. And they say, well, too bad. This bill creates an independent board that is able to receive these complaints, review them, and then order that this kind of material is taken down within 48 hours. And also to subject companies that violate this order to fines, including some restitution for victims. So your experience, again, is so instructive in this regard. Thank you for being willing to be here and to share it with us, and thank you for your courage. Senator Britt, we are ready for you if you are ready for us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it, and appreciate you holding a hearing on this important topic. Look, there is nothing more important than protecting our kids. When you talk about looking at what's happening to the next generation, I think it is imperative that we step up and do better, do more to make sure that we are safeguarding, putting up guardrails, calling things out where they are. And so I appreciate you all being here to discuss this important topic. I mean, the perils of the digital era are literally turning the American dream into a nightmare for so many families, not only in my state, but literally across the nation. I wanted to start with you, Mr. Fizero. Is that how you say it? Fizero. Okay, there you go. Look, I had intended to be in front of you and ask some questions when you appeared before the full committee last month. I went back and looked at some of the written testimony you submitted to the committee, and one anecdote in your testimony really struck me. You recounted that you were taking a half-a-mile walk on a beautiful day on the beach, and during that relatively brief period of time, you counted 67 children and teens on their phones. And you also said that then you came across a lost child who couldn't find their parent. You concluded with a statement that statistically at least 25% of those children will be victimized.
Yeah.
In addition to reforming Section 230 and passing bills such as Stop CSAM Act, I am of the view that one of the things that Congress needs to do is ensure that social media platforms verify the ages of their users rather than relying on, kind of them to do that themselves. And we all know that typically what they say, you can't be on there until you're 13, but they never verify that, so that's just meaningless. I co-led another bill during Congress, the Protecting Kids on Social Media Act, that addressed this issue. Given your background and experience, do you have any views regarding how Congress may best approach the age verification issue?
Yes, device-based. Your phone knows how old you are, right? So if I'm 10 years old and I try to download Snap and I try to get on it, it knows that I'm not. So even Raven's been working on text, but the solution is really device-based because we know that. And even parents today can't even understand, like, if parental controls, there's like 51, each one has a different one. What happens if we were able to create one where a parent can press a button to prevent their kids and that information from going on? And it's not even a privacy issue, is because the phone knows how old they are. So
the phone knows how old you are, because when we as parents, if you were to go and get your child a phone, you're saying we have to give that information when the phone is purchased.
Correct.
Right?
So
So the information exists.
It's there. It's right there.
It is already there. So then enforcing this, making these companies actually be able to not download an app, let's say, if you know that the child that owns the phone is under the age of that of which it should be available, shouldn't actually be that hard. And that kind of sort of seems that it would go into an app store.
Yes, and the apps would actually talk to the actual store that in, whether it be...
So what you're telling me is we have all of the information we already need to help protect our children
Correct.
when it comes to age verification. We just have companies that are unwilling to do the hard thing that would be the best thing for our kids.
Well,
really, it's actually relatively easy.
I guess the companies, they want the kids on their platform so they can sell them whatever, I think that's the challenge. So the technology exists, and not only that, something along that thing as a solution would actually help parents, because parents don't understand every new app that comes in. So you give parents the ability to protect their children at home. I mean, to me, what's better than that?
Yeah, absolutely. As a parent of a 14 and a 15-year-old, say amen, right? I mean, this is the exact thing. We've got to make sure what we know now versus what we knew when, all of this began, and then the rise in social media and the nexus to the lives of our children. We have a duty and an obligation to do something about that. And what I hear you saying to me today is these companies already have this information, and so it is a choice that they are making with regards to allowing these things to be downloaded on these phones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's a choice that we should take away from them and make sure that we're safeguarding our kids. I know I am almost out of time. Is there anyone else that has anything to add to that particular topic? Well, see, it sounds like we found a winner here, right? We figured it out. Mr. Chairman, thank you. I won't go over my time, but really appreciate you bringing light to this so that we can hold people accountable and we can safeguard for our kids their ability to learn and grow and explore, but to do that in as safe an environment as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Britt. Thank you for your leadership on this. Mr. Pizzaro, I think maybe you have summed it up well. These companies, this is a business model. They want kids online. They want to sell them stuff. Let's be honest, they want the child exploiters online also because they benefit from their business. This is really about profit at the end of the day, and until it is not profitable for these companies to host this abusive material online, they're going to keep doing it. Until it is not profitable for them to evade the reporting requirements, they're going to keep evading them. They're not going to be good actors until we force them to do it. And that's why the legislation we've been talking about today and the other issues that we've been considering, age verification, et cetera, is so vital, because we do need to protect our kids. We do need to put power back into the hands of parents and victims. And I'll just end with this. To me, this is the age-old American story. Who's going to have the power? Is it going to be these mega corporations who are not accountable to anybody, or is it going to be the people? Is it going to be the victims? Is it going to be the parents? Who's going to have the power here? This technology can work beautifully if victims and parents actually have power. Right now they don't. We need to give it to them. I want to thank again the ranking member for his tremendous work on this. I said, Senator Durbin, when you were out of the room, I really said a lot of nice things about you, Senator Durbin, so maybe we'll leave it there.
I'll check the transcript.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the witnesses for being here today, for your testimony, for your work. Thank you to the many advocates who are here in the room. And with that, this hearing is adjourned.